Okay. Oh, so welcome to, it's September, isn't it?
Yeah.
The
Already.
September Solar Chat. My goodness. I don't know where this year is gone, to be honest. Where is the summer gone? And now we're into autumn already. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. So
I'd
yes,
like to
September.
I'd like to swipe the slate clean and start over.
But from birth, you mean?
Yes.
Well, the fall I have always looked forward to because I get to see how the crops, like for work, even at home on the farm, it was the chance to see how did all the stuff we did pan out and work. And this year with the drought, it's a complete write-off. This is the worst fall in my life.
Yeah.
And so it's just depressing to go out and talk to customers because they got half a crop, a third of a crop, no crop. And anyway, my brother's in Europe right now, so he's coming back in a week and a half, and he'll start into finding out how bad his is.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I think that in the UK, because we've had the hottest, driest summer since 1976,
Mm.
farmers have been saying that they've had, like wonderful crops, but not much of it. So it's been really good quality, but a very, very poor yield, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
We've been all right up until now, and now it's been great for imaging. But yeah, the yards are looking pretty brown right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's you know, I don't want to bemoan it for too long, but we cut the grass the end of June and not again until the first week of September.
Oh my word.
Sandy went out and knocked the tops off a few weeds once or twice, but blew the dust off the grass, but that was about it.
You've got those weeds that start getting tall, and you got to knock those down.
Oh yeah. But anyway, I won't pee and moan about about crops here. We're talking solar astronomy, so we'll go from there.
Oh yeah, because last time I haven't had time to watch last August's solar chat. So can you tell me a bit more about what it was that you were doing with the showing and telling of all your photographs?
Well, I mean, we just kind of shared back and forth some of the images and so forth, some of the events we'd seen. I can't remember if there was any other specific discussion. It was pretty much show and
Was it the
tell.
one? Was it the one
Even
with
do a tour of his observatory deck.
Yeah,
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Stephen?
That's right. Yeah, Stephen did a tour of his new place and observatory. That was cool.
Oh, good. Should I, because I've got, if I just go on to, if I do a share, um, there is, I share my screen. All right, so can everyone see that? No.
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Great. So it's the usual time of the year that Stuart will probably go, oh, yeah, I know. It's the Royal Greenwich Museum. They do like an astronomy photographer of the year every year in September, which you can all enter, by the way. And I just want to say that you guys produce some of the finest quality solar images, which I think completely outstrip some of the ones that are shown here. But they are absolutely lovely. So I just wanted to show some of them. But I was just going to say that you all ought to enter because I think that you all have a really good chance of winning it. I noticed this year it was sponsored by SWU, and the winners are all Chinese. Surprise, surprise. But that might be just completely random because I know that when they do the judging, and I know that Laszlo, I think that he's one of the judges. He's also a member of Solarchat. He does say it's fair. They get given the images, but they don't know who they're from. So they are anonymized. So they just pick the ones that they like. So I just think that that's just neither here
What are
nor
the prizes?
you get quite a lot of money. There's about £1,500, so I don't know what that equates to in dollars. So it's definitely well worth going into. And I think you do get more if you're the overall winner. So it's not, a poor thing. It's quite a good thing to enter. But anyway, that was the prize winner for the Our Sun category. So I'm presuming that that is just an inverted,
Yeah.
because I'm presuming these are the two spots,
Yeah,
and this is the
looks like it.
plage. So again, it's my pet hate. I don't like
Yeah.
inverted,
It seems to keep going for
because
inverted images for some reason. That
yeah,
even full discs and so on.
it's a super color because they've got the color just right, haven't they?
Oh,
For
yeah, it's
hydrogen
nice, isn't it?
alpha, which is a very, very difficult thing to do. And also filaments stand out really well in inverted.
Right.
I won't knock them on that, but personally, I think that if you're wanting to see sunspots, to me, in my eyes, these look like the sunspots.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, I think those are the sunspots. So I find it quite confusing, really, in it that.
There's
That's the runner-up. So it's just the way they've presented it. I don't think that it was that big, was the ejection of the solar material. It's just the way they've presented it. Looks very, very dramatic. So that's very nice. The highly commended, that's quite a stunner.
Oh, that's a big
Imagine
one.
seeing an outburst like that. That is just, see, to me, I would give that as the first prize
Yeah.
because I think that the luck of that is, pretty phenomenal. And it reminds me actually of Stephen's shot that he got highly commended for. He had a calcium K eruption that was, like equally as big, and he got highly commended for that as well. I think that was back in 2014. And then these are the full shortlist. I think that one's a really lovely one, because they've managed to get the eclipse at sunset, haven't they? But they've got the green flash
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
on there, so that's pretty good. That.
good. Yeah.
And I could just move you out of the way. I can move
It
on.
doesn't mention what equipment they used for each shot.
I think it does underneath
Yeah,
somewhere.
there's usually a description of the
Yeah,
equipment.
although there doesn't seem to be on that. I think that you will be able to find it if you go through this website. I think that this one is from a chap from Solarchat. Oh, what's his name?
Peter.
From
Is
the
it
Netherlands, I think, isn't it?
that Peter from Australia?
Pardon?
Is that Peter from Australia? Peter Ward?
Oh, yes, it might be.
I
It was
mean,
some. Oh, I wish they had. I'll have a look in a minute.
I mean, I presume it's perihelion and aphelion.
It
Yeah.
is, yes.
Yeah.
I
And
really
then
like that in the previous picture there. There's a filament circling with a sunspot active region in the center of it, and the looks like a
Yeah.
bullseye target.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Because yes, it's funny, he's done that side positive and that side negative, probably because this side has got some great filaments on it. And filaments do look great in negative.
Right.
Give them
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Cool.
And some nice sun dogs.
Yeah.
And then need to look up who these were from, because this is another person from Solarchat I was looking at. So a trio of nice images. And then we've got a nice ISS transit.
Oh,
And then that's a lovely view of the setting sun.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
And then we've got
Yeah, the obligatory.
the obligatory eclipse, which is very, very nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, actually, if I just move this along, move you out of the way, it does say who they're from.
Mhm.
Oh,
Can you see that now?
yeah.
Yep.
So who have we got? Oh yeah, Salvo Laricella. I recognize that name. And then we had, oh, it is Peter Ward.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you're right. So they've all done
Yeah.
really well to
Mm.
get in. And I'm sure you guys could all get, the actual top award, not only the category winner, but the top award, I'm sure.
So Alexander's being very modest. I mean, you've won it twice at least.
Yeah, I know, but my images were pretty mediocre. I think that many other people on Solarchat are getting far better now, than what I got 10 years ago. I think that technology has come on such a long way. People have got better equipment, the cameras are better.
Mm.
I just think that.
Software and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but your granulation shot was just world class.
So, and also another one I wanted to see is I just noticed
Oh,
on
Yeah.
Solar Chat,
Mhm.
what a great way of
Mm.
doing a transit.
Yeah.
I don't know why nobody's thought of doing that before, actually,
Mm.
because you always get that shot, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you just take one frame from each and then zip them together, you get the full shot. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh
Good.
yes,
that,
what a great way of presenting a transit.
that plane was low.
Mm. Yes, but quite often, because I'm near Manchester Airport, when I do get
Uh,
transits, they are, like not um, the full plane in the disc. It's usually exactly like that. And so you just get a part of it. But I thought, what a great way of presenting it. I thought it was pretty nifty.
Mm.
Um, so I think that we could, well, yeah, I think he ought to,
Submit
present
that
this
next
in,
year. Yeah.
the Astronomy Photographer of the Year, because I think it's a really innovative way of presenting a transit.
Yeah.
I think
No, I agree.
it's great,
They
really.
like that sort of thing a little bit different, don't they?
They do.
Mm.
And that's the first time I've seen something presented like that. So I think
Yeah.
that, I think is it February or March time you have to enter?
Correct. Yeah.
Um, you should definitely enter that because that's the really good one. I think it's very good. So that was my pick of all the things. Does anybody else want to share their pick of stuff?
I've got a couple of
Yeah,
things I could show from recently.
yeah.
If,
You'll have to. Hopefully, there'll come up a button that's about sharing,
yep,
and I'll do allow.
I
So
just asked.
that's it. Okay.
Am I sharing now?
Not quite.
Yeah.
How about now?
Not yet.
Oh, let me hit share again.
Sharing
Okay, here we
immensely?
go. Okay, so now can you see it?
No.
No.
Huh. Well, oh, wait it. Now, okay, I got to hit
Oh yeah.
share. Okay, now I'm sharing, right?
It's starting to. Yeah.
Well, I think,
Mm.
Yes.
okay. So I think you've may have all seen this. I don't know. This was the sunspot progression through August.
Yeah.
That is
August is looking good.
fantastic.
And, we picked up in August and I was trying to get through the first 2 weeks of September, but I ran out of time this morning because I had 10 days to catch up with, so I haven't gotten to that yet, but it's going to look a little bit weak. So, it's been a fun project doing this. and amazing how many days I've actually been able to get pictures when you think about how often the clouds come in. But if you've just got, all I need with the sea star is about 5 minutes to take it out, turn it on, find the sun, take a video, and done.
Mm.
So it doesn't take too much on that.
So Warren, how do you create these? Do you open it in layers?
Yeah, what I process each image separately.
Mhm.
Then I bring them into Photoshop and I just layer them, and I layer them as darker. You can choose, so just the spots come through.
Right. Okay.
You can't use the facula because it moves so much, and usually any facula you see, and if you look in close, it's the latest picture.
Yeah.
But the spots come through nicely. Sometimes I have to adjust how bright or how dark that day's disc is for the penumbra to come out. Sometimes I just see a black spot and I'm going, oh, that's not going to work. So I've got to adjust that, and then I'll flatten the image, and that's basically how they come out. So I try to keep up to date, because trying to get them aligned, if I've waited, it's kind of like, okay, where should this spot actually be?
Yeah.
Well, yes. How do you align them?
I'll typically look at old images from space weather. I can go back any day I want to and look and see where they're at. Then once I put it over top the next one, I can usually rotate so that they're pretty much where they should be. I'm sure there's error in it because I've got to move it manually to get them lined up so they look like, there's an equator and you can see where the spots are lining up. So that helps. I guess it was, which month? Well, it was really August where it was throwing me off because the spots were, like it was really nice. June, they were perfectly, in south and north. August, they started moving all over the place. And it was like especially when it started picking up, some were overlapping each other. So it was hard to figure out, okay, is this 2 weeks ago spot or is this yesterday's spot? So when it gets really busy like that, it gets a little more difficult, which is fine. It means we had a lot of spots.
Do you
And then
record in Altas mode, Warren, or are you using equatorial mount
these
on that?
am I recording AVIs or
No,
Sears?
in Altazimuth or in equatorial?
Oh,
Like your mount, is it equatorial or Altas?
no, it's C Star.
Yeah,
It's alt as.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just do it in alt as, and then I have to rotate everything depending upon what time of day I take it.
Yeah, because I also do my sort of daily imaging using the Solarquest mount, which is also Altazimuth. And as part of the post-processing, I rotate all the images to match celestial north. But you could easily rotate it to match the solar north. So I use the time of the recording and put that into this tilting sun.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then you get the angle. You have to rotate the image to have it perfectly aligned with what kind of coordinates you choose. So then you will just have to make sure you align the suns, but you don't have to think about the rotation.
Can you give a quick demonstration on?
Yeah, I could try to do that. So
yeah, I'll leave you.
when Warren has finished his,
yeah, I've just got 2 others real quick. Let's see.
That photo collage with the August is really what kind of inspired me to do this August activity as a bit of a topic for today.
Oh yeah,
because that, like, just seeing it flare up so quick. Now we're back a little quiet.
Yeah,
but
that's
really
what's been fun about is watching the overall changes to how each month looked when you look at them as a whole.
Yeah, it really is surprising how it's disappeared all through the like the summer months, and
Oh,
now
yeah,
it's starting to increase again.
yeah.
I wonder if we'll have like a second peak. It would be nice if we did.
Well, I got a feeling if September goes the way it is, it's going to look like August peaked and back down again.
Oh yes, because it's gone very blank again,
It's
hasn't
gone
it?
very blank
Mm.
again.
So there is
Yeah.
some nice new activity coming in this morning and some flaring on the east limb.
Yeah.
So it could have
Actually-
more rotate in.
Actually, that was, let's see, which one is this one? This was well, this was on the 10th. This was 4207 that is now gone. This was on the west limb, but this was a nice little eruption at 4207. If you'll see it bubbling a little bit, and then it already blew that. Well, here's where the pop goes. You see it starting, and then the main eruption goes, and you see it thrown off the. And then the other one was just 2 days ago when that humongous eruption happened, and it happened right over here
Oh.
during the recording. But if you watch, you'll start to see some disturbance, and let it run through one more time. Right about now is where this huge, see that little bubble? That's where the big one's happening. You start to see some disruption here, then you see this start to happen, and that pops. So I missed it by that much because this was recording at the same time. And this is 4207 right here as it's saying goodbye. And that's what I had to share today.
That's lovely.
Is it possible to take these types of animations in Altaz, or would that be too much to derotate the image?
Arn does it.
Okay.
Arn does a great job with it in Altaz because he uses the Solar Quest half the time on his.
Yeah, but I usually don't derotate for changes
I'll go
during
ahead
the
and I'll go ahead and stop
time
sharing.
lapse. So I would love if there was some kind of software that could easily derotate for the changes during the recording. That would
Well, it's
be
kind of fun to watch the
Yeah.
ones that you leave and you see the sun moving like this, and it's so smooth. I mean, the animation's smooth and the rotation's smooth. It's kind of like, oh, that's a different way to look at it. It's kind of cool.
So it kind of illustrates the effects of
Yeah.
how the sun moves throughout the sky. But so I do that when I do the full discs, because I usually then use the Solarquest mount. But if I do some more close-ups, then I use a regular equatorial mount, and then I don't have to consider the rotation.
The biggest challenge I see is unless you can leave everything completely assembled, even if you take the camera off and put it back on the next day, you're never absolutely sure you got the camera oriented quite the same way. So you're going to have to tweak and fiddle each session.
For my H alpha images on the 60mm, I have left everything fixed for almost 3 years, I think now. Never taken anything apart. Only thing I do for each session is to adjust tilting on the front filter. And for the calcium K and continuum, I then swap cameras. But I have some bubble levels attached to the camera, so I can quite easily get the same orientation. And both for the continuum and for calcium K. So I guess I get within at least 1 degree's precision with that.
Okay.
So I've got some magnetometer data if anybody's interested in seeing that through September and August and into September. See if I can share that. So August share. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a pretty quiet month, really. I mean, a few odds and sods here. G1 geomagnetic storm, passing CME, and fast flowing solar wind around here. And then another little pop here, G1 storm. Again, fast flowing solar wind greater than 600 kilometers per second. But not a huge amount of activity really, which is interesting compared with your composite image, Warren, where you show, you know, lots of really good collections of sunspots. I know it's quite misleading because they're all superimposed as they go across, sort of thing. But you know, given the level of activity in August visually, some great spots. In terms of the magnetometer readings, not a lot of action really. So a few crackles and pops, as it were, but compared with Solar Max, you know, it's pretty subdued. But then if we move into September, I think it's that one. Can you see that?
No.
So
No.
this is
In August.
Didn't change.
Didn't
right,
change.
okay. So didn't change, right. So if I get rid of that, click on that. Okay, right. So I need to reshare that. Bit odd, but anyway, there we go.
There.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So this one starts partway through August. So that's that one I've just shown in August. And then we get into September and around second, third of September, a little G2 storm, CME impact, and again, fast flowing solar wind. And if I just move
So,
this.
Stuart, when you have 01, 02, 03, is that from midnight?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Right, okay, so the
So
night of 01, 02 is where it shows on 02.
So that's
right, okay.
that's the day of the 2nd of September. So it starts at midnight and then finishes at midnight for the start of the 3rd of
okay.
September.
Oh,
So
yeah, right,
that's
because
the day.
I was watching the aurora of the evening of the 1st
Yeah,
up to midnight, which would start on the 2nd.
so that's there.
Yes, and then again the second night was much stronger, was the
Yeah,
aurora
yeah. So
on the you know, the 2nd to the 3rd.
yeah, yeah. So this is Alexandra's aurora
Mm.
that you can see. Yeah, yeah, and then we've had a few more pops and crackles. We're in that time of year around the equinoxes. I think most people know that there's more of an effect, even when you've got a reasonably fast flowing solar wind, but it doesn't have to be you know, in the upper levels, as it were. You get a greater effect geomagnetically around the equinoxes, and you get you know, a greater chance of seeing aurora around the equinoxes because of these enhanced effects, the Russell-Fearon effect, as it's called. And it's just, you know, relating to the tilt of the Earth and how the Earth's magnetic field interacts with the magnetism carried by the solar wind. So we got a G2 storm, but it wasn't any particularly strong event on the sun that created that effect there. But still, you could, if you're in the right place and it wasn't cloudy, then you'd see some aurora, even though it's probably just a coronal hole or something on the sun rather than a flare.
Right.
So we had quite an uptick in early September then in terms of geomagnetic activity. And if I
Stuart, are you measuring this yourself, or are you pulling this data from somewhere?
so I'm measuring this. So I've got a magnetometer in the garden,
Okay.
little sensor in the garden, and then I've got my computer set up in the garage, running some software. It goes through a few little boxes of electronics to convert the signal into an audio signal that my computer can read, because it's ultrasonic as it operates in the garden. When you put a voltage on this sensor, it starts whistling, if you like, at ultrasonic frequencies. And then when the magnetic field shifts, the ultrasonic frequency shifts. And obviously my computer can't detect that because it's beyond the capability of the sound card. So I use some electronics to shift the frequencies to audible frequencies. So it can go into, it can be input as a sound through the sound card, and then I use software to chart that basically, and then export that into Excel to make it into this type of chart.
It's really interesting. Do you have that documented on anywhere on Solarchat?
Yeah. So it's on Solarchat, but yeah, I can send you something if you send me a
Sure.
PM on Solarchat. I can ping you.
Sounds good.
The plans, if you like, on how to do that.
I was thinking you did a presentation on one of our Zooms, but maybe I'm thinking.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That would still be on YouTube, wouldn't it, Alexandra?
Yeah, somebody else asked that this weekend as well. Not particularly very organized at documenting these Zooms. So yes, they are all in the SPOD archives, but you would have to sit and go back and look at every single one to see what the topic was about. Because also I don't necessarily always put the topic in the title, so it's difficult to find. So what I need to do now is more when I archive it into the SPOD archive, to actually put a description of what's in it, so that when you actually look back through it, it's easier to find them. But it might be back quite a long way, because I think you did it quite a long time ago, didn't you, Stuart? Maybe a few.
Are these spot archives on Solarchat?
They are. They're all in the, if you go into the Solar Picture of the Day forum area,
Yeah.
I just dump them every month into there. And so you'll see like the April one, the January one, etc. But I don't necessarily have a title, so it's not very easy to search.
So I'm actually helping Stephen out, and I am the administrator of Solarchat with him on the back end, so I have access to all the files. And this sounds like a very fun AI problem where you just feed the video into some algorithm and it'll basically transcribe the video and then do like a summary, an AI summary of the video. So that could be a quicker way than you going back manually and doing everything that way.
Ah, that would be really good, because yes, somebody asked this weekend and said, where are they all stored? And it's like, well, I haven't archived them particularly very well, because I didn't want them. They originally were getting just drifting down in the main chat, and then it was like virtually next to impossible to find them. And so I then started dumping them into the SPOD archive, because at least then it was much easier to find them, because there's not many in there. So you can see them a lot easier. But I haven't written what the topics are. Sometimes some of them have got the topic in. But yeah,
Okay,
they're a
maybe a
bit
little
difficult to find.
project I'll try, and I'll just add a comment to that thread, or maybe modify the topic title with a brief little summary.
Yeah, that would be excellent. Have you been introduced to everyone? Because I know that you were introduced to me and Mark. Um, does everybody know Bojan?
I recognize the name.
Yeah, but
So you've come along to help with like the really hardcore nerdy stuff
Yeah,
that
so
none of
my
us
name is
understand.
Boyan, so the J is pronounced like a
Boyan.
Y.
Ah, right, okay,
Right.
sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm up in Ottawa, Canada, and I've been like a longtime Charlie Bates member, doing lots of outreach and kind of lurking more on Solar Chats, and now recently just spending a lot more time on Solar Chat. So I realize maintaining the website, maintaining Solar Chat is considerable work. So that intersects with my professional life. So I decided to help Stephen out and volunteer my time. So just helping do backups, making sure there's always a backup, safe backups, and then upgrades for Solar Chat as new versions of the forum software come out and that type of thing. So
Okay.
yeah.
thank you.
Excellent.
Yes.
Doing a sterling job.
Yes. I just want to share this one if you can see it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. So going back to May, end of May, early June, a G4 geomagnetic storm. So compared with the previous chart that I showed, I think the maximum was 10. Here we're up to 15. Quite a lot of disturbance there as a result of the CME impact. And that I normally produce two charts. It's the same event, but this one is the actual, if you like, east-west magnetic declination. So if you had a compass and you were able to look very, very, very carefully at the needle, you'd see the needle move east-west as a function of time during the storm. But obviously this isn't a compass needle, it's a particular electronic sensor. So the signal varies in sympathy with the fluctuating magnetic field. And this one, this is the format that you saw previously. This is the rate of change. So the reason I do rate of change is these things are temperature sensitive. It's buried in my garden. It's probably about 1 meter underground. And the temperature remains fairly stable, but not throughout the season and not over a month. So for a daily record, it's fine. It's pretty, as I say, pretty stable temperature. But the start of the month, you might be in the UK, 18, 20 degrees or whatever. But by the end of the month, you might be down to 15 degrees or lower as the air temperature. So what happens is there's some drift in the readings. So if I did a monthly chart, it would be sort of up and down based on temperature superimposed on the actual signature, the signal. So by doing rate of change, that takes away the temperature element because I'm just looking at how this signal is changing as a function of time. And as I say, that eliminates the effect of temperature. Anyway, so that I thought you might be interested to see, what a proper CME impact looks like at a different scale, because this is just over a day. Sorry, I think this is 3 days, 2.5 days. Okay, so any questions about that at all?
Just have you been doing this since the last minimum also, Stu?
Yeah, probably about 10 years or so, I think.
Okay, I was curious. I'm assuming the line, during about what 2018, 17 was pretty much just straight, or did we have some blips back then?
So at solar minimum, you get a lot of coronal holes.
Oh, okay.
And they give rise to solar wind, which affects the Earth's magnetic field. So whereas at solar maximum you get, some nice flares and some big storms, through solar minimum, you still get solar activity as a result of coronal holes, which also affects Earth's magnetic field. So it's not as though it's a flat line through solar minimum. So 2018, I'll just have a quick look. Yeah, I mean, they're on a completely different scale. I'm just looking, we're down to sort of 3 or 4 units as opposed to 15 units.
It would be interesting just if you had some dates back then to just take a look at some, visual pictures that somebody might have to see if, if there's anything there that would be of interest on
Yeah.
when you saw something on this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You've got to account for the fact that it takes time as well for this
Right.
tsunami to arrive or solar wind to arrive.
So
an
probably
event,
look at a couple
yeah.
days beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, if I may, I just want to share something else with you, if that's all right with you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Let me share screen again. Must be an easy way to do this, but this works.
Oh yeah.
So this is not magnetometer data now, or these aren't magnetometer data. These are based on calcium images, where I'm using some software. It's called ImageJ. It's an open source software, and lots of scientific work's done using ImageJ to measure, anything from, biological samples through to astronomical samples or whatever. But I'm using it to measure the amount of white plage against the total disk. So I ignore the black. I can calculate the area of the disk in terms of numbers of pixels relative to the full picture. And then I can calculate the amount of white plage in terms of a percentage of the disk. So, solar minimum, as you can see, not a great deal of plage there. So we're down into the, fractions of a percent of the total disk is plage. And then you can follow that. I mean, obviously it jumps around up and down because the sun's rotating, and we know we get periods of slightly higher activity and then lower activity and higher activity and lower activity, because we don't see the whole disk at the same time and the activity varies. So we can follow that up to what looks like solar maximum on the 6th of August 2024, according to my data, because obviously I can only see it when there aren't any clouds around. It might have been somewhere anywhere else around there, but on the 6th of August when I measured it, it was about 11 and a bit percent covered. I ignore the black spots, the sunspots, but that's a tiny fraction compared with the amount of plage that you can see there. And then it started coming down, and that's the 16th of May. But then we can see a bit of an uptick. So that's 31st of August. I haven't been able to image in calcium in September with the weather. But yeah, a little bit of an uptick there. So to your point earlier, Alexandra, are we heading for a double peak? I don't know. We'll have to see.
It's an interesting analysis.
Sorry?
It's an interesting analysis. Nice data.
Cheers. Thanks. Yeah, well, see how it goes.
Would you like any calcium K that we got that you haven't, Stuart?
Yeah, I mean that was going to be another thought.
Well,
to take. We've got a world team basically. We've got all points covered, 24/7 really, pretty much. It would be nice to bring in calcium images from the broader team and just see if we can fill in some of the gaps we might be able to, really make a solid set of data. And who knows, maybe publishable. I don't know. We'd have to see about that. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting to measure the amount of plage and track it as a function of time and see how it varies with the solar cycle.
Good job.
Well, it's not hard to share the images once they're
Yeah, I was going to say, I post,
posted. They're
yeah, I
ready.
post all the CAK I take, which isn't much because I spend so much time on HA animations, but
Yeah, yeah.
occasionally I do.
Yeah, I know Arlen does a lot of calcium along with HAFDs. So if you don't mind, Arlen, I'd like to take some of your FDs
Sure.
and add them, and anybody else as well. I mean, don't send me anything. I'll just go on Solarchat and go
Yeah.
through, the archives, as it were, and then I can pull some of that together.
I was going to ask the same as Warren, asking if you base this on your own images only, but as it's pointed out, there are lots of images out there that's
Yeah, exactly.
hopefully usable for this. And from my part, if you can use my images for this, you're more than welcome to
Perfect, excellent.
to use them. So, and I can also send you if you would like something else than the processed JPEGs, if that's better to have a more unprocessed image.
So, yeah, as I say, I'll probably just pick them off Solarchat because I can just do a screenshot. They don't have to be, super resolution or anything. But whatever format I can pick off Solarchat, I'll do that. But yeah, that would be great. Be interesting to fill in the gaps.
Well, you know which dates you're missing data for, so it's pretty easy to go back and find them.
Yeah, I mean, I can find images probably pretty much for any day. I would have thought, given the number of people on Solarchat and the location and so on. I mean, we're not going to get every single day, and you wouldn't want every single day. Just a massive database.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be nice to have, but not for me to spend hours and hours and hours doing that for every single point. I mean, the main thing is to get the trend. I mean, I've got most of the trend, but I do have gaps. Would be interesting to fill in some of the gaps.
Especially for September, because from Warren's, it looks like he's got, a lot of, activity compared to August.
Yeah, unfortunately, not much CAK, but
yeah, but we'll do what we can and just.
I took one today.
Yeah. Okay, I'll shut up now.
On, are you able to show us about the tilting sun?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try my
There you go.
Try sharing. So can you see my screen now?
It says share.
Yep.
There, yeah.
I see a whole screen.
Okay, I just start off with this one then, because in addition to posting on Solarchat, I usually I store all my solar images together with all the other images on Astrobin. So you could also easily see what kind of dates I've been imaging the sun from here, Stuart. Probably,
yeah, excellent.
Maybe easier to see here than going through the archive on Astrobin.
Yeah.
So that's this one. So if I go to here, while we were talking, I was trying to, I just made a copy of one of my H-alpha solar disks from the 7th of September. So I tried to have both the date and the universal time as part of the file name for keeping track. And when I image with this setup, it's it's flipped upside down. So what I start by doing is just flip it like this, and then I use a program that I'm sure that most of you know already, but you have this tilting sun application.
Right.
So I just entered the date. So this was the 7th, and it was 14:45 in the universal time. And then I get this presentation. So I've checked that I'm using an Alt-S mount. You could also make in an equatorial mount to get a presentation for that. This is how I was recording this image. And then you get the equatorial north and the solar axis here. So you can then decide if you would like to rotate it to match the solar poles, or if you would like to have it like you would done if you do with the equatorial mount. So what I usually do then is I take this angle from north, 26, and I just edit my image and do minus 26.
Okay.
So I get the same number here and say done. And then just usually final crop it. And then I have my properly rotated solar disk.
Is there any automation between the two softwares so that you can do this at batch?
Not that I know of.
No.
So,
Okay.
but sure, you could do some scripting and screen scraping and and automate it. And then when I have this this disk with the rotation I like, I have some actions in Adobe Photoshop that I usually use to then make it more contrasty and fill in the white areas with black, and also to colorize it.
Nice.
So that's basically how I process my daily full disk images, both for H-alpha, calcium K, and continuum.
As a question for which north you use, which is best to go for the solar north, or what is the equatorial north? Is that the sun's equator? I'm not quite sure why there are two norths.
The one is the solar axis, and the other one is based on our coordinate system in the sky. So if you were recording on an equatorial mount, that's perfectly aligned, and you aligned your camera axis with that, you will then get a perfect equatorial north on the sun. But of course, the tilting of the sun will vary throughout.
That's where the P comes in there. That's 22.63. So that's what I do. I use an equatorial mount, and I make sure the camera is aligned so that when I use the declination, when I press the buttons to move the scope in declination, that the sun moves in the right direction. So I get it so that it moves up and down, left and right across the screen, and then I know that the camera is properly aligned. So I take the image and then use tilting sun to work out the sun axis as Alan's showing there, and then I use the value of P, and I use well, pretty much the same as Alan's just done there. Just rotate the sun, or I just use I've got like a compass image that I rotate and then superimpose onto the solar image. So the solar image is showing the Earth's north, up and down, but the compass is showing the sun's north in relation to, Earth's north, up and down, as it were.
I've got to take more notes.
If you do your processing warrant to create those composite disks, the best way would be, of course, using the solar north, south. Then you can really see how the spots shift in latitude over the course of the Saros series.
I just find it's far easier to pan in azimuth and, well, RA and dec when you're moving across at high resolution, that it goes left and right across the screen, up and down across the screen, rather than on some angle. So I keep the chip oriented to the declination of the sky as opposed to the equator of the sun. If I wanted to rotate them, I could do something like this, but lack of time doesn't. I just post them as they come off the camera orientation most of the time anyway.
I do the same when I'm using an equatorial mount. As you say, you just move the mount east-west just to see how it aligns with the chip, and then do the recording that way. And then I have both my full disk images and my more close-up images in the same orientation. But ideally, everything should, I think, be rotated to match the solar north. If I may, I could also show some snapshots from. I got also transit of a plane recently. So I have the raw data here. I was a little bit disappointed because it was lots of cirrus clouds, so it really reduced the contrast in the image, and I also had to increase the exposure time about 50% to have a proper exposed image. But the cool thing about that is that you can actually see the shadow of the plane long before it enters the disk.
That's brilliant.
Then you can just follow it through, and the same on the other side. You can see when it's leaving, it's also because all the scattering, you can
that was fascinating.
See it very well. So this was obviously quite more distance than the example you showed, Alexandra, where you needed 3 solar disks to fit the shadow of the plane. But
what was this planned, or it just happened?
Just a coincidence. I live about 80 kilometers from the nearest airport, and I think this is the second time I've recorded something like this, and I've seen it a few times, but it might have been between recordings, or I've been doing other things. So I think this is my second time I catched a transit like this.
But it's not, you didn't plan it, it just happened.
Just happened.
Wow.
Cool.
So it's just one of my daily recordings to get the full disk. And I noticed when I was recording that there was a sudden blink, and I saw on the screen that there's this plane transiting.
And I bet you said, yes.
Little masterpiece. Wonderful.
Yeah, so that's.
I see not a lot, but numerous bird and plane transits, and they always occur a few seconds before I start to record, or a few seconds after the recording's finished. And it's like, oh well, Pedro seems to have the record, I think, for aircraft transits, but anyway, and this time of year, when you get into September, October, and again in March, April, the elevation of the sun is kind of in line with the flight path into Pearson Airport in Toronto. So I picked more of them up this time of year potentially than in the dead of winter and summertime.
Sorry, Annie, had you finished or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's not more questions, so I'm finished.
Just going back to the orientation thing. So this is now how I present my images for the British Astronomical Association. I used to rotate the disc. Now I just rotate this. Because when I rotated the disc, I found it was quite patchy in the corners because you're trying to match colors and so on, because it's not really black, it's just a little tinted. So it shows up. So this is north in relation to Earth. Because I have an equatorial mount and rotate the sensor, the camera, so that it's properly oriented, as Brian was saying, up and down, left and right. It moves up and down, left and right on the screen. So that's true north, as it were, with Earth. And then I rotate that according to the P value that Arne showed on tilting sun. So throughout the year, that will straighten up and come north and then go clockwise. So north rotates around a bit as we go around the sun.
It oscillates back and forth.
Yes, exactly.
Over the course of 12 months.
Exactly. So that's just, for me, an easier way of presenting it rather than rotating the image, as it were. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that.
Good.
Okay, anything else, or should we close now?
These are great.
I've got a 1-minute anecdote to share. So
oh yeah, go on.
Let me. So, if you've seen maybe on the forums, I don't do very much imaging, but I'm spending time here at my parents' cottage, and I happen to have a solar scintillation monitor, and I've been using it even when I'm just doing visual astronomy, and it's really fun just to assess the site that you're at. So yesterday, I'm observing beside this giant lake, which is 13 kilometers long and a couple kilometers wide. And the seeing is so remarkable that I managed to push up to like 260 times magnification on the sun yesterday.
Jeez. Great.
Without any breakdown in images. So I felt like I was flying through the prominence. It was quite impressive. So I do have a camera that I just haven't had a chance to use, but I guess I just want to share. It's fun to highlight the importance of seeing and where you physically are. I usually do astronomy where I am. I rarely travel to do astronomy elsewhere. So luckily, this is my my parents' place. So being beside the lake lets you set up permanently like this, and then get a nice view and get perfect seeing. So I saw sub arc second seeing averaged for minutes at a time. So I was like 0.8, 0.7 arc seconds averaged for 2-3 minutes at a time, which was quite fun.
You should host a star party or sun party for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Airbnb.
I think you need to get one of them solar ones, telescopes as well.
Oh boy. Are those the giant ones, the 300 mil diameter ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
it looks like
highly
you've got the
impractical.
seeing.
Really?
Wow, that you're virtually got like the Big Bear Observatory there, haven't you?
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
Wow.
Let's put Shannon back.
We'll all want to be going on holiday there then.
The water is nice and chilly. It's 18 degrees. I go swimming every day.
Okay, great.
Wow. That's fantastic. Oh, if only.
Yep.
Okay, so is that about it, I think, from everyone? It's been brilliant hearing about all those helpful tips. Arne, that's great. And Warren, you're wonderful.
Oh.
rotations and stuff. And
Mhm.
oh my goodness, what a place to do your solar observing from. That is just incredible. So
Yeah.
thank you, and Stuart, for all your aurora. I must try and match up on your aurora spikes where my aurora activities were, which I imaged. I'll have to try and do that. I'll do that another time. But yeah, these are all absolutely fantastic stuff that everyone's doing. So thank you very much for sharing. And we'll see you all next month for the October one. If anybody wants to talk about something, I don't know whether Stuart, you want to go through your magnetometer thing again.
Could do, but
Yeah,
bore
but
people.
November one, hopefully I've got Christian coming to talk to us about everything calcium K, from filters to telescopes to how to set them up, how to get the best optimization from your calcium K filters, because it always seems very complicated what people are doing.
Yeah.
But we either need to move to the top of a mountain or to William's
Yeah.
parents'
Yeah.
house.
Yes. And those Alexa filters seem to be pretty stonking as well, I think. So
Yeah, 2.5 grand or whatever they are. They should be.
yeah, sadly.
But yeah, that was my comment about we take pictures and Christian says, here, hold my beer.
Yeah. Anyway, that's for another time. But anyway, thank you all for coming. It's been absolutely great seeing everyone. So
Till next time.
Next
bye.
time.
Alexandra.
See ya.
Good,
Bye.
everybody.
Yes,
Hey,
bye.
everybody.